The main rise in teen pregnancy rates is among girls younger than 15 years old. How crazy is that? Could you imagine you guys, maybe about 3 years ago, 4 years ago, sitting there pregnant? No. Today I'm here to discuss teen pregnancy and how Today I'm here to discuss about teen pregnancy and the effects it has, the reasonings for why teen pregnancy is so high in the United States, and a solution to a way that maybe we can alleviate teen pregnancy and alleviate some STDs that are varied around in the United States. I've done extensive research on this topic to make myself credible for this source. With the growing teen pregnancy rates, adolescents don't have enough knowledge on sex education to prepare themselves for the consequences that happen after sex if they have unsafe sex. First, I will discuss why there's a problem with teen pregnancy rates, touch on the correlation with sexually transmitted disease, and then I will inform you about the causes to this problem, and lastly, the purpose that I will enforce. The problem is that young adults don't have the adequate knowledge on sexual education, which is why teens are continuously getting pregnant, and sometimes even worse, diagnosed with an STD. 1 in 2 sexually active young people will get an STD by the age 25, according to Huffington Post. And yes, even though teen pregnancies have dwindled, unfortunately, the United States does still have the highest rates of teen pregnancies in the past decade. Unfortunately, teens don't realize the consequences that they have. A lot of teens become pregnant and they bring in a baby into the world and they have no idea how to care for them. They don't have the knowledge to be a parent, and they can't fully understand the consequences when someone has unsafe sex. The issue here is that there is just too many people that are becoming unfit parents and bringing children into the world that don't need to be here. The causes of this problem, I think the growing issue here is that high schools don't have enough education. I found it really shocking in my audience analysis that most of you kind of briefly went over sex education in 7th grade. Personally, I went over it in 7th grade. It was like a 2-week course. And even one person says they don't even remember having it. I think that the main reason that people are not fully understanding the consequences is because they're not being taught on the right level. 7th grade, you're about, I want to say you're like 11 years old. I think that in high school you're at a much better age where you need to understand the consequences. You're 15 to 18 years old. You understand a better understanding. You're more aware of sexually active things because you are at that stage where kids are being sexually active. According to National Public Radio, a one-city debate that sex education is actually now dwindling over the past years, and unfortunately that is something that shouldn't be dwindled because our pregnancy rates are increasing. And according to thinkprogress.org, that it is ironic that the states that have abstinence-only education within high schools actually have the highest teen pregnancy rates, which is interesting because if you're teaching abstinence only, you're pretty much saying, don't do this, this is bad, this is what will happen. Instead, kids are going to do what they want to do. They like to rebel. So if we need like a way to, over like a broad spectrum, understand and give everyone the adequate knowledge of what to do. So for this solution, I propose that on a federal level that we all become better adequate of what's going on. I think that we all need to have a state-by-state mandated thing that we should all be taught the same things. It shouldn't be abstinence only, or it shouldn't be nothing at all, and it shouldn't be in 7th grade. I think that it should be a mandatory course in high school, that in order to pass or graduate high school you need to take this course, and it could better give you knowledge on what will happen if you have unsafe sex, what's going to happen if you aren't fully prepared, and then just being in certain situations that people may not feel comfortable in. All of these things go into being a sexually active teen, and I think that teens need to know that in order to have sex, these are the things. I'm not here to explain to you guys that you shouldn't have sex. I'm here to tell you guys that we as a whole need to come together and realize that 18, 17, 16-year-olds need to have a full course in order to fully understand what's going to happen if you do have unsafe sex, rather than it just being a brief overview in 7th grade.